Hi everyone, my name is Gideon Besaidnot and I am an application engineer for Micrographics. Today we're going to have a look at the AutoCAD 3D environment and how we can set up different viewports within model space. Within this viewports, it can come quite in handy when you're busy doing a 3D model and you would like to see different 3D representations or orthographical view representations of your drawings. Now this can be anything from mechanical to even the plant, different views, different models. You'll notice I already have AutoCAD open. Here's a coupling that I created in Inventor that I exported into Inventor, and it is a 3D model. You'll notice my view is on the 2D wireframe. I'm just going to click on the drop down and make it realistic. Now, how do we create different viewports? If we go to the Visualize tab, you'll notice we've got a viewport configuration. Here you can have a single viewport, and that's what we've got at the moment. You can choose between 2 vertical viewports or even 3 viewports as needed. That's all dependent on your requirements. To make one of the viewports active, we can just click on it and you'll notice that we've got our navigational tools that's available in that specific viewport. You'll notice that I clicked on this one and this one is active, and here we've got all our navigational tools. If this is not available, you can go to your View tab, and here is your UCS icon, your view cube, and your navigational bar that you can switch on. Just going back to the Home tab, here I can pan it. As you can see, it only moves the model in that specific active viewport. I can change the view on the drop down. If I want a top view, for instance, do I want it to be wireframe, for instance, and that viewport would be set to that specific view and that specific orthographical view. To make another viewport active, I simply have to click on it and that viewport would become the active viewport. I can go to the drop down, I can click on the front view, for instance, and that would give me a front view. Or I can hold in Shift and my mouse scroll wheel to create a shortcut for the orbit. And let's say we want a top view, for instance. We can just select the bottom and that would give us the top view of the coupling. Remember, these views will differ on the way you drawn. Like I said, this is a drawing that I imported from Inventor into AutoCAD, so the views might not match exactly those views. With this one active, I can choose a different view style if needed. For instance, if I want it to be shaded, I'll get a shaded view, and in the third one I can create a nice isometric drawing, for instance. You'll notice that's the northwest, that's the northeast, and I can hold in Shift, right click and orbit, or I can click on the squares and get a nice specific view. I can reset the home view by right clicking on it, and I can choose set current view as home, and that will change this to the current home view. To discuss some additional navigational tools, you'll notice that we've got the navigational bar and navigational panel on the right in this workspace and this viewport. You can simply zoom in and out by moving your mouse wheel. By holding in the mouse wheel, this is a shortcut, and you'll notice we'll be able to pan. So that would be holding in the scroll mouse wheel. Holding the shift on the keyboard and pressing the scroll mouse button allows for temporary orbiting of the model. If you hold in Control and the scroll mouse wheel, this allows to swivel the model, as you can see. When we have a look at this visual styles, setting up a visual style can help you to gain and understand the elements of the model. And to change the different view styles, you can simply click on the view panel on the drop down and choose the different visual style that you need. Another way you can change your visual style or your custom views, you'll notice in your viewport you do have something that says custom view. If I click on that, you'll see there's all the different views that's available for your model. So if I choose top view, it will go to the top view. If I choose the southwest isometric, it would move to southwest isometric view. The same with the X-ray. If I click on that, that will open up this visual styles, and you can change your visual styles if you need to and want to. You'll notice if you right click on the view cube, you also do have an option between parallel, perspective and perspective with ortho faces. Now what parallel is, that's the tradition 2D drawings displays, that's in orthographical views or as seen parallel. That means parallel edges on the object seems to be parallel in the drawing, and it helps you to evaluate the object shape and size proportions without any distortions. And perspective, that displays as the eye sees the parallel edges. And perspective views gives you a better sense of space and depth. And perspective with ortho faces is a combination between parallel and perspective. Thank you for watching today's video. Please like and subscribe and follow us for more content.